गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः।
Jai Bharima. We welcome our audience with a lot of love. Ma'am, very, very welcome. Ajay sir, good evening. Praveen sir, good evening. Mama, gratitude. Ji. It's a lovely concept we are going to discuss today. Just taking a thought forward when we were discussing this concept. I think the greatest, most comforting space you can create for your child is you. It's your presence. But if parenting matters that much to you, if your parenting matters much to you. So let's take that thought forward. Mami?
Yes, as we move around in the world today, women in the corporate sector, when you ask them, what's your biggest challenge today? It's not their profession. It's not their profession, they say. They say it's motherhood and bringing up their children. And certainly the bigger challenge is when then it's more than one. And then bigger challenge further is if it's a girl and a boy, both different. It's two girls, two boys, okay, make friends. But if it's a girl and a boy, so the bigger challenge for working parents today is not their profession. They're quite qualified, they're professionally degree holders, trained, emotional intelligence, and all these kinds of things, skills, upskilled. Who trains them on motherhood or fatherhood or parenting? So I think that's a bigger challenge today, and for which there are answers and there are no answers. And it's all self-learning and self-success or probably self-failure. So we have you, Sharari. Thank you. You're the ultimate. You're very, very experienced and you've been grooming, training people. We look forward to listening to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, warm greetings to you. Because very frankly, ma'am, you have been my role model. So, today being over here in your presence, that's one of my dreams come to fruition. So warm greetings to you, ma'am. Saina, thank you so much. Greetings to you for inviting me here on your beautiful platform today. Dr. Ajaya ji, greetings to you. Greetings, Praveen ji. You know, you have given this such a beautiful platform to so many million of parents. I mean, million of us parents, I should say, because once a parent, I think lifelong a parent. So, and there is such a lot about parenting. You know, you are continuously learning, discovering. There are so many things which you want to get to know. So, this is a wonderful platform. And today I'm so fortunate to be over here today. A big thank you to your team, especially Shakira, because she's been in touch with me since day one and she's been so helpful. So thank you so much. I would like to put it like that. My own journey as a mother in parenthood started 30 years ago when my son Jehan was born. My voyage as a grandmother has started 2 years ago, and around 25 years ago, I started my journey as an educationist, especially with school-going children till the age of 18. And I think all these roles together are still going on. So I totally agree with when man said that the difficult thing is never the profession. It's the ifs and buts and, you know, the lifelong this thing, sacrifices which a parent has to make, and the lifelong question marks which a parent has got in the mind that, am I going the right way? Am I doing it well? You know, because I think, first of all, God has given us most beautiful gift of making us a parent. And it's a lifelong commitment. Second thing, to what I totally agree with ma'am, that there are no catalogs, right? There are no rule books. There are no manuals so as to how parenting is. I mean, it would have been so easy. In spite of joining lots of groups and having WhatsApp groups and you know, reading books and being on the social media with parenting groups and, you know, talking to professionals, still there is a lot of ambiguity. There is a lot of you know, it's very obscure. There is nothing hard and fast that this is what applies to my child and this is what applies to me, because I think every child is unique. Every parent is different, every family is different, every community where the child grows in is different. So I think this journey, this is a very beautiful journey, but this journey has to be taken as and how it comes. And the most important thing, like I always feel like what Theodore Roosevelt has said, that, you know, if you believe you can, your job is half done. And I think the first thing as a parent is, let us have that belief that yes, I'll be able to do it, because no one loves my child as much as I do. No one knows my child as much as I do. So I think it is that belief which carries you forth. And the most crucial ages, though I always say that, you know, during that developmental process of bringing up a child, is everything. Its physical needs are there, cognitive needs are there, mental, psychological, the educational. There are so many needs of a child, you know, for growing up. And all these, as a parent, you have to take care of. So there is always that permanent this thing that, along with giving a good education, we have to give a good set of values, because we have to give a rock solid foundation to our child. Because I don't think so that we are just interested in making or creating or developing good children. We are interested that they should be good citizens. We are keen that they should be good leaders. I mean, that is where I think the focus should be. I think most of the things what I'm talking about, I have gone myself through as a parent. And of course, being in with school going children, I think daily in and out, we see a lot of these things happening. Also, there is one appeal to the parents, which I always put it across, that, you know, a child doesn't belong to us. We have got this possessiveness about our child. We want to possess the child. We want that, the child should think like you, the child should behave like you. We sometimes fail to understand that the child is a separate entity. We have just been given the child for safekeeping for those few years, and that is the only time the child is in our hands. We have to see that we mold them, develop them in such a way that whatever we have dreamt for them, more than that, whatever they dream for themselves, all that comes true. I mean, very interesting thing is, during our school, this thing also, I always feel that when you are, as a parent, you are looking at your child, there is one more thing which comes across, is that you need a good partner in education with the child, a good school. We do have 3 campuses, separate independent campuses in Nasik. We have got beautiful schools. We've got separate curriculums. We, are fixed with, all our schools are fixed with the name of Fravashi. Fravashi is a Zoroastrian word. It means the upliftment of your own spirit. So we are having such beautiful schools. We totally follow the, something like the ideology of multiple intelligences. So there is something like, along with academics, which is like the core of any school, definitely. We have our children, we have currently the global toppers of Cambridge curriculum through our school, and I'm very proud to say that. But I'm even proud to say that along with fantastic placements in Ivy League universities and the best colleges in India, along with that, our children are shining everywhere. May it be languages, may it be literature, may it be sports, our children are on an international level. Our children are in pottery, they are in calligraphy, they are in drama, they are in art, they are everywhere. And not only are they there, they're just learning the things, but they are doing extremely well over there. To think of those things also as their profession. So it is not that it's only the academics, which is the core of our school. Also, ma'am, you'll be very glad to know that we in our school have a secularism day, which falls on the Children's Day. That is the 14th of November. We even celebrate a Girls' Day, which falls one day later to the Women's Day, which falls on 8th of March, and Girls' Day we celebrate on the 9th of March. So we try to give a very all-rounded development, make the personality of a child so good that the child should be able to stand anywhere in this world. Fly, soar high from any platform. May it be academics or may it be non-academical thing. And I think this is where I'm very proud about, what our children have been doing, what our team has been doing. Because we are trying to give them, we are trying to broaden their vision. We are trying to broaden the vision of our parents also. One more thing over here is, every time whenever I'm with the children, I always feel that there is this intrinsic need within them to express themselves, to talk about themselves, to speak about themselves in any which ways, to put across their ideas. The way every child is always curious, the same way every child wants to tell, wants to speak. And that is where, like, I remember this beautiful saying of the very famous artist, Pablo Picasso. He says, every child is an artist. It is only later when they grow up, they don't remain so. And why is that? Does it happen that we actually don't encourage creativity? Something like such a simple thing. I remember this, I'm talking, way back, almost 27 years ago, 28 years ago. My son Jehan was a toddler, and children being, fabulous imitators. So every time I used to go to the studio, he would, come with me. Sometimes he used to put his own mini easel and he used to happily paint on that. Now, this was almost like 25, 26 years. The same time I established my own studio also. So that interest is there always. So he used to come with me. Now, he used to be so happy going behind mom. And what did you do, Jehan, today? Okay, well, I painted. What did he paint was not important, but he was painting. Fast forward 27, 28 years, and what I am seeing is my grandson, Henry, sits there again, happily scribbles. Again, the content is not important. What is important is how much happiness they have. The joy oozes out of them when they are being creative. And what is creativity? Is creativity only art? No, creativity is a journey. It's a process. It is everything, whatever you can think of, and you are able to put those thoughts across into anything, tangible, intangible, make something out of it. That is creativity. I think Lord Krishna has put it in Bhagavad Gita once, that creation is a very sacred gift. If a person is creative, that's a gift given by God. And most important thing is the outcome is not important. So it is not the destination, it is the journey of creativity which is important. And why am I so keen about creativity? Is there are so many things which fall in place because of creativity. First of all, it opens doors to your imagination. It makes you think beyond the rational, beyond the usual thing. It takes you out of your safe box, makes you start thinking. And that creativity is applied. There are so many times when I'm talking to the parents and I just put it across to them. I said, your child is an independent child. Your child is not a part of you. If you like something, the child has to like it. Or because you have thought of some dreams about your child, so the child has to go the same way. It does not necessarily happen. You have to let the child be themselves, irrespective of whether the child is a toddler or irrespective if the child is a teenager. What matters most is the child needs to have free time, creative time to themselves. It should be a place within the home wherein the child can go and be themselves. So many times I go to this drawing competitions, art competitions, and children are happily drawing. So one of them will come, they'll get their drawing book and they'll show it to me. Some of them are a little bit shy. But the thing is, when I go across, there are many times that a simple thing like an apple, if it's been given to a child to color, it is 90% of the times, it is red in color. Now, I don't blame anyone. The whole point of creativity is you have to just give them crayons and just give them papers. So what if the apple is purple for a day? So what if the apple is blue? What happens is we don't want them to think. We make it so structured. We have to take them beyond this structure. We have to make places available. I always appeal to the parents, take them out. Take them to this beautiful outdoor places. Take them to a forest. Make them a part of whatever is going on around them. They should know animals. They should know flora, fauna. They should know everything. It should not be, something so creative, like even storytelling at night. I've seen at plenty of homes, before sleeping, the child is told a story. And the child is told a story. That is one of the most beautiful times, I think. Because it is the imagination which runs riot. It is not a set thing, because from one origin of that story comes so many other things are originated. So I think storytelling is a beautiful. Letter writing. Letter writing is something which has gone off nowadays. No one hardly writes a letter, but letter writing is such a beautiful thing. You can encourage your child to do that. The whole point of having a creative exercise at home is that you should also be a part of it at times. At times, you have to let the child go, let the child experience things on their own. Otherwise, how will they be self-responsible also? In your daily timetable, this is also one of my appeal of asking the parents to have a good timetable for a child. A good timetable is going to take the child a very long way, making them understand the importance of time. It not only gives them focus to this thing, but they themselves make their timetable. They can themselves put some free time for them. They become self-reliant. They start thinking on how to manage their time. They see to it that the tasks are over during that time. All these things, because I think not a lot of things do we have to actually teach them. If we are talking about academics, the teachers, the school is there to teach them. What I'm talking about, something more than that. The children watch us, they look at us, they imitate us. So there are times when if we want our child to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I think we really don't have to go on harping about it. If the child sees that the mom and dad, any one of them, gets up at 5:45 in the morning, chances are the child is going to start getting up on his own, going to start putting on alarm, because that becomes a habit, that becomes a way of life. My a little bit this thing, about my personal experience about motherhood and parenthood, I would like to put here across. My son is settled in US now, and he, at the age of 17, he went to the Culinary Institute of America. So he went there as an undergrad, and later he passed out as a chef with 2 gold medals. He had a couple of job offers then, but he decided that he wants to go in for Masters in Public Health at UPenn. So he underwent that. Then he decided he wants to do Masters in Law in UPenn. So he undergoes that. Then he decides that he wants to pursue artificial intelligence program at MIT. So he does that. And now he's got his own data company in New Jersey. Along the whole path of his growing up, what was happening, he was always fond of sports. So we had always encouraged him. Me and my husband both are fond of sports. So we had encouraged him. And variety of reasons, it gives a fit body. Second thing is, I think when the child is, is active in sports, we always feel that there are a lot of things about life which sports teach you. So he did a few marathons over there. He participated in 2 half Ironmans over there. He participated in full Ironman over there. Then he participated in a few sea swimming competitions over there. And of course, now he plays golf at Scratch. So his handicap is very good. So, it's been not the kind of journey which anyone will think to be like, okay, it starts over here and ends over there. Oh no, it goes up, down, here, there. Yes, it was fraught with ups and downs also. But the whole, the entire journey has got a beautiful conclusion, is that he's very happy with whatever he has done. And because he's happy, so we are happy and proud about him. So the whole, what happens over here is how much should we support our child? I mean, the thing is that we don't have to, push the child to do something which the child is not interested in. Many a times it happens, especially in parenting, that what we have dreamt for our child is not necessary the things which are ultimately going to happen. But the whole point is, do we support our child throughout all this? Do we pull him back when the things are going tough? Do we get him back on the right journey when things are going a little bit rough? Do we encourage the child when things are going good? Irrespective of whatever happens to our child, there is no one who has got more vested interest in our children than the parents themselves. So I think this is what is most important. This is what we should concentrate on, because no one, if you expect that you are taking your child to, your child is going to venture out and then someone else is going to see him and take care of it, it doesn't happen that way. It happens at a place that where we have to look after our children. We have to make them into good human beings. We have to mold them. We have to get them to that platform wherein if they want to pursue a certain set of academics, they are most welcome. But if they want to turn and pursue something different, then also they are most welcome, because we have to teach them that how to focus on a goal. What the goal is not the important. The thing is that the goal setting is very important, and whether we are throughout with them the entire journey, because like I said, they are there only for some time, and then they are going to soar high. They are only going to be bounded to us through all the emotional bonds. Then we have to see that they do well and they soar very, very high. They make us proud. They make our community proud. They make our city proud. I always feel that there is such a lot of potential in every small child. I mean, especially we see these small little children coming in play school. We have got an independent entire campus for our play school, and I see all the children coming, and I'm like, oh my, they are exactly like a plain canvas. They are like a soft clay. Whatever we want to make them, we'll be able to do with them. So this, I think, is one of the biggest responsibility of every parent. I think we are like farmers. Like how farmers, the job of a farmer is to plant a seed, nurture the sapling, give the right nutrients, see that the sapling has got ample of sunlight, right amount of water, even loosen the soil at times, because if the farmer is too overprotective, I mean, it's bad for the plant. And then you have to see to it that the roots go deep. And if the roots are deep, the plant goes higher. So the farmer has to take care of all these things and then step back and then just see to it how this tree grows tall, grows high, and later gives shade and shelter to others also. I think this is the most important thing as a parent for us to do. So, we try to inculcate most of the things through our schools, through the workshops which we have. And like I said about creativity, one of my most closest subject to my heart, about creative parenting, and how in today's times it is actually needed, because creativity even heals at times, and which is very much needed in today's world, I think, for all of us, for the child as well as for the parent, and for the grandparents too. So, I think this is what we are trying to aim through our schools and through our personal journeys also. One very important thing through entire all this thing was the support of what I got from my husband, Ratan, is in terms of parenting. He continuously encouraged me to do my own bit, because for Jehan's upbringing, there are a lot of things which I think, and like ma'am said, motherhood is all about sacrifices, but motherhood is all about guilt also. So there are so many times when you are like, are you doing the right thing? Is it this thing? Okay, now I've got a meeting over there, but I can't go because my child is a little bit feverish today. There are so many things which continuously go on in your mind. So I was fortunate that my husband was throughout the time very supportive. There was only one thing which we had unwritten rule between all of us, that our difference of opinions, we are never going to air in front of our child. And of course, there are difference of opinions, because there are two different people, two different ideologies, so there are bound to be. But a child need not know that. A child should always have a united front. So they know that, okay, mom and dad both are on the same page. And if I go to one or if I go to the another one, the verdict is never going to change. So that was one thing which I think, and like we say, it takes a village to raise a child. I think everyone, when your child is doing well, I think the credit goes to everyone other than the parents also, because we had grandparents staying, the influence of grandparents also tremendous on the child. And that's a very nice also a thing. But, then there is the community in which there is the school. So you have to take school into confidence also at times. There are so many things which happen. It's a very beautiful journey of parenting. But yes, It's a very conscious. So I like your this thing. I've read your books also, Pravinji and Dr. Ajayaji. It's beautiful books they are, and something I think which every parent should read.
Lovely, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
your
you so
thought.
much for giving me
Ji,
this opportunity.
ji, ma'am. We'll start. We'll do a little question answer session. Then then Ajay sir and Praveen sir will share their thoughts.
Sure.
मैम आपकी बात से एक मन में बात आ रही है. हम ना इस 1 घंटे में सारे सेक्शंस ऑफ सोसाइटी को के व्यू पॉइंट्स को आगे लाने की कोशिश करते हैं.
True.
मैम कुछ पेरेंट्स बहुत प्रिविलेज्ड होते हैं और कईयों के पास इतनी प्रिविलेजेस नहीं होती हैं.
True.
मैम उस सेक्शन को भी एक आवाज चाहिए. मैं उन माता पिता को एक बात जरूर बोलती हूँ, तुम्हारे पास एक चीज है जो आई थिंक मैम सबके पास है, वो है वर्ड्स, पावर ऑफ वर्ड्स.
True.
बिकॉज जो तुम अपने बच्चों को कहोगे वो तुम्हारे बच्चों की अंदर की आवाज बन जाएगी.
True.
Till the time they don't discover their own voice and they don't discover the divine voice, your words have the power to alter their life and influence their life. तो अपने बच्चों को करेज दो, अपने बच्चों को सेल्फ एस्टीम दो, अपने बच्चों को सेल्फ बिलीफ दो, अपने बच्चों को होप दो,
True.
अपने बच्चों को काबिलियत दो. तो मैम हर एक के पास साधन नहीं है, लेकिन हर पेरेंट के पास प्यार है, दुआ है,
True.
शब्द है, वो हर पेरेंट अपने बच्चे को दे सकता है. तो मैम योर थॉट्स ऑन द पावर ऑफ वर्ड्स, how we talk to our children. It's always going to be a choice between aggression and mindful composure. I think this every parent can practice if they want to. Ji,
Oh
ma'am.
yes. Oh yes. Saina, you put it so well. Because I think there are two things, like you said, the power of words, very important it is, because every relationship, it is very important. But a child is something who's so dependent on us. As parents, we have to do our best. Now, what you said is also true. There are so many times when the parent is unable to give enough time to a child. I would really appeal that, spend time with the child, as much as time as possible, because I have seen it that irrespective of any sector of the society, currently a curse which is going on, which is again a very conscious, a mindful effort of parenting, is, I would like to put it across, is the cell phone. The screen time. I have seen moms coming home, they are tired because they are off at work, and then they come home. The child is at home, the father comes in, both the mom and dad are tired. The point over here is that the minute you step in, make such a world for your child that there are some kind of sacrifices. When you say the power of words, I totally agree with you. Give time to the child and interact with the child. A 10 minutes difference, like today I'm seeing my cell phone for half an hour. A 10 minutes difference in that is not going to matter to us, but yes, it's going to matter to the child. Because these are the developmental years, and this is the time when the child needs you. And we have seen it with our children also. The child needs you during certain years of age. When the child starts growing, the child is not going to need that much of time of yours, because the child is going to go outside that home. It's going to step out, going to have friends in the school, in the colony, the child grows further, and the child starts analytically analyzing things. What we fail to understand, that this is the time when we are able to develop the child. The more and more external forces go on coming, the more and more likely chances are the child is going to be corrupted with these. Before that is the right time for us to build up on the child's confidence. When we interact more with the child, when we have all the conversations open with the child, even if something happens outside, believe me, chances are the child will come home and talk to the parents. But if we don't have good communication with our child, the child is likely to speak to someone else who may not be the right person to discuss things. So the power of words is a lot, and irrespective of which strata of the society we belong to, it is the same. The only thing is, what has started happening is, even for a parent, there has been too many things happening in life. So what is happening is, instead of communicating with the child or giving what we say quality time, now there are again lots of debates about what is quality time and quantity time. But I would just appeal very simply, be there when the child needs you. Because the child is, especially when they are small, they are going to ask for you more often. When the child starts growing bigger and bigger, the child is going to ask less of you. So if in these times we are able to be there for the child, like I said, it's not just jubilations which we have to be there for. We have to be there for everything. So the power of words is extremely, extremely important. And second, Saina, one very important point which I believe in is having patience. A lot of times I've seen there has been a need to get things very urgently. It may be the upbringing of a child, or it may be a simple thing like you put the child for some class and the child is doing some workshop. And the first thing is the child comes back and you are like, what did you do? Why should it matter? Doesn't it matter that when the child comes back home, the child is so happy? These questions can follow later. But patience, I think, is something, even with a teenager also, with all those things going on in life, we all of a sudden see that as child has changed. The same child who used to come back home and used to tell mom, a 14-year-old boy or a 15-year-old girl, they pour their heart out when they come back home. The same child has started banging the door of the bedroom when the child comes home. Or all of a sudden, your sweet little daughter was writing something. Initially, she used to show everything to see, mom, what I've written. Now, the minute you step in the room, she puts a pen over there and she closes the book. Now, the whole point is that why should we take it so personally? It is not. A little bit of patience. Okay, so even if she doesn't show. The thing is, give her time. She's going through her age. She's going through a process. But we are wise. As parents, we have got the experience of so many years. In fact, so many of us have already gone through all this. What happens is the patience. That is, I think, Saina, one more thing which I always stress on.
Ji, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your thoughts. Ajay, sir. Ji, sir. Ji.
Hi, hello. Yeah, in today's world where everything is moving so fast, especially with the reels and constant digital distraction, it's becoming harder for children to slow down and focus. I really believe that introducing kids to arts and culture, especially our traditional and classical forms, can bring a beautiful balance. These forms teach patience, help children reflect, and show them that not everything needs to be instant. Like every state in India has its own unique art forms, whether it's dance, music, theater, or visual art. Including these regional forms in school curriculum can help children connect with their roots while developing an appreciation for creativity. Even if a child doesn't become a professional artist, early exposure will help them become someone who appreciates and enjoys art. In an era where attention spans are shrinking, these art forms teach us to slow down, observe, and reflect. Watching an old play or listening to a raga may seem boring to someone who is not trained, but once children are exposed and given the context, I believe they begin to see the richness in it. Sharwari ji, as an architect and artist, and someone deeply involved in education, how do you envision integrating traditional arts and creative thinking into the design of childhood, both at home and in schools? In your view, how we can create a conscious environment that reduce digital distraction and foster an appreciation for slow, thoughtful, and culturally rooted experience in children?
What you said was so true, Dr. Ajay, because the fact stands that culturally we come from a very rich country, and there are so many things going on around us. Even as a microclimate also of any particular city, there are so many things which go on around us, and for a child to learn a part of it is definitely it slows down. This instant gratification and the social media impact definitely slows it down. There are certain things which we take care, and we should take care, is the partnership between the school and the home. Most important, because the child is 1/3 of the time in school, 2/3 of the time at home, not necessarily with the parents, but at home. And if the school and the parents are in alignment with each other, this becomes very easier. So maybe, it's having this thing like at school. So how many academic hours we have? Almost equivalent we have for the other creative pursuits. So like you said, it can be art. We have got studios for art. We have got sports. We have got right from, making puppets, very small things, a very extant art form in from Rajasthan. And we've got everything. We've got calligraphy. But what happens is we have to take the parents into confidence. And there are some children who show excellence in some, like there are few children who are excellent in dance and the classical form. So then at such times, identifying the child, the way it is done from the school ends, the same way it has to be done from the parental side, exposing them to a multiple things and then making the child choose. Or this doesn't work nowadays, that I had a dream of I wanted to represent the Indian cricket and team, and so you have to learn cricket. It doesn't happen that way. Nowadays the child has to be happy doing whatever they want to do. So we have to identify that if you want your child to go into sports, expose him to a few sports, then let him identify which sport would you like to take, and then maybe you can start with some formal training in that. Like you said about ragas, one of the most beautiful way, in fact, throughout the day, whenever I'm in my studio for 8 hours, 9 hours, there is music going on in my this thing. And right from Manna Day to the latest this thing, I've heard everything. The whole point is that is de-stressing. And without the child understanding, because there is lot of pressure, performance pressure on the child today. The child has to be, there are of course, there are the set of parents where they don't apply a lot of pressure, but by and large, I'm saying that there is a lot of pressure on the child. On the pressure on the child, there is a lot of competition, there is a lot of comparison of the child with other children also, with relatives' children. So there is a lot of things going on around, and there is a lot of anxiety. There is a lot of pressure. So a child in general is also getting irritated over small little things, which I think the right set of creativity will definitely help, for the child through going through all this. If the child is happy, and it is vice versa. If the parents are happy, the child is happy. If the child is happy, the parents are happy. So I think it should be a complete this thing. And this is something which should be inculcated since childhood. Like I would say since they're like 1.5, 2-year-old. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Sharwari, doesn't it depend on the administration, the leadership of the school to ensure this?
Definitely, certainly.
What
Because
Ajay said, the art and culture, nothing stops them. They can
oh,
begin the day, they can begin the assembly,
oh
they can
yes,
find a period, and they can
oh,
encourage it in a. It all depends on the leadership of the school.
100%.
Nothing bars them, nothing can mandate them. If they like it, if they want it, there are ways and means of this. Why are not everybody doing it? I'm just wondering, when this is so much basically elementary, what he said. And sure enough,
Right.
the art and culture is actually touches the soul. It humanizes the child, de-stresses, as you
Oh yes,
also. Why?
oh
What's
yes.
stopping? What's stopping our educational leadership from inculcating love and respect for the local art and culture?
Oh yes, definitely, ma'am. I totally agree with you that this is something which every school should be taking forward. But I think looking at the scenario by and large, when we are looking around in the society and it's not happening, so maybe things are not going the way they should be going. Because having a simple thing like assembly is compulsory every day. And in all our 3 campuses, it is compulsory that children come out and every single new child every day comes onto the stage and speaks about a subject. Now, the whole point is this is just developing leadership skills, removing all that stage fright what a child has got, which most of the children do have. Because if you have a family who's like into public speaking and into elocution, then only the child is good in speeches. Otherwise, by and large, a small child is scared of going onto the stage. Now, if this is something, if we eradicate this, we nip it at the bud, give them the exposure since they are small. Believe me, ma'am, we had this thing G20 summit, and our children have represented there. So,
Mm.
it is how the school takes them
But
across.
what does a parent do? What does a parent do if the school is not giving them this art and culture at the beginning stages? What does a parent do? Where does the parent go? What are the
True,
options we have?
true. And it's a very, especially I feel that school education is something so very important, because even the higher education is something which children, it is optional for children to stay here, go out. Even it is even optional for children if they want to pursue the further education, the higher education or not. But school education is something so important. You're actually developing good citizens of this country. You're actually developing leaders, and that all is in our hands. I mean, through the schools and the parents of these young children. I mean, this is maybe one of the reasons why we always have workshops so that parents are able to talk. We have got a good set of counselors through all our schools because, like I said, there are a lot of problems with the mental health also. And if you are able to identify very quickly, things are so easy later.
See, schools have, Ajay, schools have music teachers, right?
Yeah.
But those children, very few, those who want music go to the music teacher, learn art, dance, etc., or an instrument. What about others? That is the problem. It's
Yeah.
the music is not for all. Music is for a music class, isn't it?
True.
It's true.
That's a problem.
So basically, like ma'am, if I may, ma'am, so like, the whole point is that we have to expose the child, every single child, to every single art form which is there, possibly which is there in the school, whichever you have got good, I mean, again, art form is anything, music, so it can be Western, it can be Indian. There are instruments. We've got so many instruments and children are so good in it. Our children, if you see them on the drum or if you see them on the sitar, it's like, I mean, the performances are mind blowing. You are so mesmerized because you really don't. The children are so talented. The only thing what happens is how to identify. That is where many a times it is not because of interest, but it is because that the parent doesn't know, like you said so rightly, the parent doesn't know what to do further because there's nothing available in the school and there is nothing where they know where to go to. So they know their child is talented. Like we had one of our child who has, at a very young age, he was identified by the coaches as very good badminton player. He is there right now at the Prakash Padukone Academy, and he's doing so well. He's even representing India now in the juniors. So it is, and it's a matter of pride for us because we see a child growing in front of us. And the
Shivani,
child
is the child born talented or acquired talented?
No, I would say, ma'am, born talented, because if it is acquired talent, it doesn't go so further down the road. There has to be something in the child which is, which gets identified at a very early age. Like I always say, we did have our share, we still have our share of children who, when they come on the stage, they run away. They simply don't want to talk. Okay, we let them be. But we try to take them out of the shell. Believe me, the child has even gone on the platform of MUN, has even given fantastic speeches. The same child who, when came in nursery, was scared of the stage. But there are times when you inculcate the love of speaking. So it is something which you have to. Second thing, what I always feel is, maybe to a certain extent, our schools are premier schools, but ma'am, we even have adopted Anganwadis in Nasik district. So every school has got one Anganwadi adopted, and we do everything for those children. There is talent there too. The thing is, they don't get a lot.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
No, don't you think the educational bodies like CBSE or ICSE also has responsibility to inculcate or design while they design, the curriculum for the children?
So we do have certain things which are like there, which are made compulsory, and certain things which are introduced by the school. So it is always like that. What I think, Dr. Ajayji, what happens is in our education system, sometimes I feel that the things are not what they are seen. See, like I'll tell you something, these are the schools which we have are privileged learning centers, like you said. Children coming over there come from good families. I'm not saying families good families in the sense only in monetary sense. I'm saying from good families, no criminal background, good good goodwill of the parents within the society, things like that. But even once, if you take a look at the municipal schools or the corporation schools which are there, now I'll give you a very, very small example. So we have got these firefighting norms. Okay, so we had it compulsory that every single private school has to have that certain things. Okay, the water should run from here to there. There should be sprinklers. There should be this. There should be this fire extinguishers, which we love it. So the day it came, my husband being the chairman, he saw to it that everything was falling in place. Till day, it's been, I think, 7 years it's been put up. Till day, not a single municipal school has got it. They simply don't believe in installing in it. So it means, does it mean that you don't love your children who belong to the municipal schools? Here, if we take it personally, that these are our children. Once they step into our schools, they are our children. We have to take care of them till they leave our schools. And even after that also, we have got a strong alumni network of almost 20,000. The schools, the children continuously visit us. They speak to our current batches of A-levels and grade 12, because nothing better than your own, once a child understands that this young man has passed out from the same school, that urge to do better definitely is there. But this is the difference between private schooling and public schooling. Why doesn't it happen if anywhere? I would not even say United States of America or UK, where things are like too much on there. There's too much of disparity between Indian sector and over there. But at least you go to any foreign country, there's a glaringly big difference between the education system. There people prefer to go to public schools because the curriculum is good, the infrastructure is good, the monitoring is good, everything is, at least some bare minimum standards are there. Here you have a classroom, there is put up over there computer class, there is not a single computer inside. So there are rodents everywhere. It's sad. There's too much of disinterest. And I can talk about the education sector because we have been into it. So
What I think, Ajay, is required is a little more NGO volunteerism movement. Wherever you have a school of this kind, we may be having inadequate infrastructure, but a school, music school close by, or an NGO close by, which is in art and culture, adopts a particular school. So if we can get into volunteering and adoption, we might be able to contribute more, and rather than keeping away. So spread it out, spread and share. Similarly, as an NRI movement, since you're overseas in Abu Dhabi, even many of your state, Malayalam, Kerala, rich in music, if very wealthy NRIs go back to adopt certain schools back home, back there, and start supporting for art and culture itself, or sponsor a music teacher. I think we now need it. You see, we can't just put it on the government for infrastructure or implementation. If you're wanting to promote this, is to adopt schools in the backyards or the underprivileged, whose children are not getting what you and I would got it in our times, or we got it from. Probably try that. Think about it. Take this message to Kerala, because I've seen how well you organized your festival. Did you do it this year too? Did you do it last year?
Yes,
Lovely.
ma'am.
How wonderful. How much you promoted. So I think like you do, so are others who have resources, if they can invest into art and culture promotion, Kerala, next generation of youth would be quite different.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we'll definitely think about it.
Yeah, spread the movement. What you do on your own, and you spread it. You are into a movement yourself. But more of your brothers and sisters, NGO partners, try that.
Yeah, we definitely, yes, we will.
Yeah.
Ji, Praveen ji, please come in, and then I'd like to share an experience I've had regarding what we've been talking about. Please do come. Yes, your thoughts.
Sure, sure. So, no much of thoughts. A quick question. It's like, usually in parenting, when the parent is strict and very firm and not allowing too much of creativity, the parenting is an easy job. So when you need to identify the child deeper, identify the strength of the child, guide them appropriately, provide them with an appropriate ecosystem, let them do things in a very unscripted manner. So the parenting is a tough job. So as a school, I'm keen to understand, so what exactly the school is doing to equip the parents to be able to do a mindful parenting like this. Because what I've seen, sorry, even after knowing a lot about the right way of parenting, the right way of doing, the right way of implementation, so many parents are not able to do that because of their emotional stability or lack of the so-called lack of time or lack of focus. So how exactly as a school you are equipping your parents to do the right aspect of parenting? And keen to understand about the success, what you're doing there.
yes, I first of all, Praveenji, I totally agree with you. It is tough, it is difficult, and we through all our schools we come across all different kinds of parents. So there are when we would like something to happen, but it doesn't happen, but we have to take it in a stride, because our ultimate aim is the child and the right development of the child. So when the child passes out through our school, the child should be a good human being as well as a good academic person also, and with, of course, a all-rounded personality. See, one very important thing that we try to make parents align with us, that our parenting should be a good balance. Okay, it definitely should not be harsh disciplinarian structure, which is not going to take us the long way, in which everyone is going to be a little bit hurt. It should not be totally let it go attitude, wherein the child is just sailing through everything. No. What we need, because that's our job as a parent, to get them to the right structure. The child is never going to understand what are rights and what are wrongs. It's our duty and our responsibility as a parent. So what we have to, persuade a parent is to be the right balance of both the things. And one of the reasons why we insist on timetables are this, because a timetable, a good timetable, helps you lead the way to the entire. So it should be, we always put it across to our parents that let it be a timetable for a day, let it be a timetable for a month, and then let it be a timetable for a year. So there are certain things which a child understands, because timetable is the only way where you can be firm with the child yet not be disciplined. And there are certain things which as parents you will have to do those sacrifices. In case we do have our set of parents, in fact most of our parents are professionals, wherein the mom and dad, if both of them are gynecologists, they are unable to come before a certain period of time, before certain evening timings. So what do you do? So the whole point is that we are here to supervise. We should be able to check whether what we are doing is right. Maybe because I can't suggest I can't give a perfect analysis for a particular child. I can do that for my child. Every parent will have to sit down, think over how they are going to get it done. As schools, we are always there with them. Any help they need, we are always with them. But the fact stands that the child, the parents, the family, they will have to devise a structure in which they are able to, if there are times when the mom may come early, the dad may come early. Also, that there are certain things when we insist that we do want the parent is for open house, so that they understand how the progress is. As school, we are there to help them, but we have to understand that going either way is not going to help. What helps is at that spur of the moment. So there are so many times, like you have to take some difficult decisions. And then you can't say that, well, this is going to happen, because things don't work like that in parenting. There are things especially, and why do I always say, because of, going back to timetables, is if a child is in a habit of going to bed, it's a very simple thing that we have seen that children start going for tuitions. And the parents put it across that my child has to go to the tuition because in school they don't understand. It doesn't happen. Why is it that 70% of the children are able to understand in the school and only 30% have to go to this thing? Or maybe in some classes only a minuscule percentage. It is because if the child doesn't go off to bed early, if the child doesn't have their own set hours of rest, how is the child going to be fresh and going to absorb whatever is going on in the classroom? They don't. So, these are certain things, like I always say, a timetable, which definitely goes a long way, right from a child to a teenager.
So I know the
yes. The ma'am, हमारा session conclude करते. It's been wonderful.
We run out of time, Sharon.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We continue our sharing in the next session, ma'am. And we thank you, and we thank Ajay sir, Praveen sir, Ji. Thank you for your valuable time, ma'am.
Thank you for very valuable time and
Thank you so
great
much.
exposition. In fact, it's a full exposition of what you could share maximum for us. It's in fact, we won't even know what to take out of it and what not to, and what to keep. So wonderful. In fact, it's a wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, very kind of you. You've really given everything, most of your experience to the listeners. For them, it's like being in Nasik with you.
Thank you so much. I would be delighted if it really happens that all of you are in Nasik.
Yeah. Heard you directly.
We'll meet you soon. Thank you, ma'am. Jai Dharmi.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We meet again. Thank you.
Surely. Thank you so much.